ask the first question, and then we'll just pitch it back and forth.
I would like to start by commending you. I found your paper very interesting. I thought you chose really good examples and sources, studies. They were like supporting your premises, interesting, thought-provoking. You did a really nice job.
Thank you.
And this version that you just presented shored up a couple of weaknesses that I felt were in your earlier version that I read, and I really appreciated that. Also, your delivery was lovely. Your tone and your pacing and your facial expressions all really added to the meaning, and you did a nice job with that. I think that I really appreciated in this version you talking about making this distinction between conformity rather than justice, and you really pulled that idea of justice and God's law being the standard. The main question I think that I had was the idea of a parallel economy. You talk a lot about almost the marketplace of ideas, free exchange of ideas needs to be able to occur, and there are concepts of polarization and wanting to create a safe space in which to have that conversation. My fear is that to create that safe space, then you need to exclude certain voices. And so, do you have? Is that a problem that occurred to you in thinking about this? And
Yeah.
Do you have a response to that?
Yeah, I did think about this. My initial was, well, by creating a parallel economy, then isn't that canceling what they think, or isn't that?
Yep.
But I would say it's different, because if you can't live with these people and share the same views, are you to just conform to what they think? Or are you just supposed to go with what they say? What parallel economies is doing is you're creating a separate thing parallel to this world. It's not that we're excluding those ideas. It's not that we're canceling those ideas. It's we're creating an environment where we can say those ideas. So it's creating this parallel economy where you can still say these ideas, but like living within the same, like, it's not excluding yourself. You're still trying to promote, I lost what I'm trying to get at.
Can I tack on another question?
Yes.
Okay. So maybe this parallel economy, I'm assuming that means social media platforms?
Yes.
Okay.
Probably not just social media platforms.
Right, but mainly on my speech.
Okay.
I'm taking on.
The way that it's done matters,
Yes.
right?
Definitely.
So all voices maybe are welcome, but you need to abide by certain ways that you speak.
Right.
And then if someone were to come in, I guess the gate, there's like logistical issues and like who's the gatekeeper and how does one, but I guess it's the example of, if it's mainly dominated by Christians, the example that they're setting in how to interact and how to do this well, which is what we could also be doing that in the mainstream economies as well. Like, Christians are the salt and light there, right? Trying to bring that same method into the economies that exist already.
Right. Companies, it's hard because you can get into, companies have the right to cancel. They have that right. The question more so is, should they? It's not so much is them canceling, is that helping society? Is that helping society progress? Because we know that canceling it's ultimately going to happen. You can't stop it. You will happen.
Mhm.
So, but the whole idea behind cancel culture is that it's the people attacking and them trying to control what is going on. It's not the companies trying to regulate their guidelines.
And then maybe, if I could, I think your paper left me with a little bit of a conundrum.
Mhm.
And that was, and thank you for taking on a meaningful topic, and I think you did it in a very good way. The question I had though was, this is what I can't figure, and maybe I'll ask you to figure it out for me.
Okay.
That is, how can you allow for free speech and not have, then you're going to allow folks to bully people online and have that pressure that is the force of cancel culture. How do you have, I want free speech.
Yes.
I want free speech, but then I guess I'd be willing to tolerate, if you have actual free speech, you're going, and you have online platforms. We used to have like gym locker rooms where we bullied people
Mhm.
back in the day. It was less effective than social media,
Mhm.
except a lot more physically, brutal. But if you have free speech, you're gonna allow cancel culture, or at least the bullying of cancel culture in, if that free speech is really free.
Mhm.
How do you get out of that? How do you get out of that conundrum?
I think I get what you're saying that.
So if I read your paper right, what
Mhm.
you're saying is, this thing is destroying free speech.
Yes.
Okay, so let's get back free speech. But if you get back free speech, if it's really free, then people are gonna be able to bully people online.
I would disagree with saying free speech is really free. There are certain things that you can't say. There's certain things that the law says you can't say, and there's certain things
Right.
that
I mean, you can't say like fire in a crowded theater or something like
right,
that.
and you can't like threaten like to kill someone.
Actually, it seems like you can do that,
Well,
but that's.
Yes, yes.
I don't know where those lines would be.
Right.
Like that was, most of my questions had to do with, so you want free speech,
Mhm.
how free is it going to be? And if it's free enough, I can't see how cancel culture, at least the bullying that is kind of the force behind cancel culture, can't get in there as well.
Kind of a logical.
It's a
Just
conundrum.
yeah.
Mhm.
Well, and Natalie, we are at the end of your time at this point.
These are questions that I've like talked about,
Yeah.
and
It's such a fascinating paper.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Really important
Well,
ideas.
let's give Natalie a round of applause. Okay, in 5 minutes, we will have Bent's